Good morning and welcome to Faith Fridays with Coach Ellis. Hey, this is a day I spend just a few minutes talking to us from the Book of Life about issues of faith. Hey, this is the time where we share from the Bible the things that will help us walk this life. So, for the last few weeks we've been dealing with the series called the 7 Ups, the 7 Universal Principles of Success. And so we've covered the first few of them, which is wake up, which is begin to recognize what's going on in your environment. Get up, begin to put action to what you've acknowledged in the environment. And then wise up means it means to not just put action to it, but give some thought and understand God's perspective on the environment. Today I want to talk to you, and in case you're looking in the Bible, it is there, Ephesians chapter 5. And right now we're in verse 17. It says, "Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. Do not be drunk with wine, which leads to reckless indiscretion. Instead, be filled with the Spirit." So today I want to talk about being filled up. And we can make the mistake to think that this text is about getting drunk, and really it's not. This text is about not satisfying our flesh, satisfying our body, satisfying our desires to the place where we begin to make decisions based on how we feel, but instead being filled up with the Holy Spirit, God's Spirit that is resident within us. And the point of that is that if we take a look at the world through God's perspective, the Holy Spirit within us that we fill up with it empowers us, it instructs us in how to walk out this part of life. The idea of success really is allowing God to speak to us before we act, allowing God to speak to us before we speak, allowing God to interacting with God before we interact with each other, before we interact with certain situations, circumstances, and conditions. Interacting with God first. And if we do that, I promise you what will happen is that sometimes we won't say the things we would ordinarily say because we've had some time with God. We wouldn't do some of the things that we would ordinarily do. We would react or respond a certain way. But instead of doing that, we've taken time with God and we are taking God's perspective on how we deal with the matter. You may make me angry. Instead of cussing you out, I might hug you instead because I've consulted with God. There is a power for those who call themselves believers, for those who are men and women of faith, of allowing, being filled with the Holy Spirit, which allows our theology on Sunday to apply to our life on Monday. Too often, and we all know folks, and truth be told, sometimes it's me, where we get all this good holy stuff on Sunday and we live unholy Monday through Saturday. And being filled with the Spirit allows us to transfer our Sunday experience to a life-altering, life-changing encounter. So instead of simply having a visitation from God, we have a habitation of God. And isn't that what we're really after? So after we wake up, we begin to see what goes on around us. We get up, begin to put our feet into action. Wise up, take God's perspective, fill up, and understand God's feel and God's heart for the matter. If we do that, in every aspect of our lives, we'll begin to see the blessings of God applying His way to things that will exponentially, supernaturally bring us to a place of success we never, ever dreamed about. And just so folks don't get confused, when success, I'm not talking about just money. I'm not talking just access or just influence. It is whatever success means in the environment and time and space you are in. Sometimes success means simply by allowing somebody else to go first. Sometimes success is increasing the deep level of a relationship. Sometimes success is making more money, but sometimes success is simply empowering our children to be better than we are, of admitting our mistakes. But being filled with the Spirit, allowing God to have to rest, rule, and abide in our life, to allow God to His way to be more important than our way. Don't fill up with wine. Don't satisfy my desires. Satisfy God's desires. And if we do that, we'll find out that life will be so much better, and everybody around us will be blessed for it. So, questions or comments, go ahead and hit us down below. Catch me at Facebook at Coach Ellis Crum. Shoot me an email at coach@elliscrum.net. So until next Friday, have a one tablet's faith fill up Friday. God bless you. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.